Tier 7 Street Level, reserved for antagonists who operate on a localized scale. This classification is typically confined to specific cities or regions on Earth. They do not possess the capacity to destroy planets or warp reality, relying instead on peak human conditioning, advanced technology, tactical brilliance, or low-level superhuman enhancements. Their threat lies in their psychological warfare, martial arts mastery, and ability to dismantle heroes on a personal, physical, and emotional level. Deathstroke. Ever wonder who the superheroes call when they need a real reality check? Meet Slade Wilson, the ultimate contract killer of the DC universe, who started out as a military science experiment. This guy basically took the super soldier serum, but skipped the whole patriotic captain routine to become a high-priced mercenary. He has a very strict personal code of professionalism, which means he never drops a contract once he takes your money. His physical body got boosted to crazy levels, giving him enough strength to snap metal swords like twigs. On top of that, his reflexes let him dodge bullets from point-blank range, while his healing factor fixes fatal wounds. His brain got tweaked to use 90% of its capacity, making him a walking supercomputer who predicts your moves. He can fight in every martial arts style known to man, and carries a massive sword made of promethium. You could see his tactical genius in action during the events of Identity Crisis number 3, when things got wild. Dr. Light hired Slade to protect him from the entire Justice League, which honestly sounded like a total suicide mission. Instead, he systematically took down a team with Flash, Green Lantern, Zatanna, Hawkman, Green Arrow, Black Canary, and Atom. He figured out exactly where the Flash would run and just stuck his sword out to impale the speedster. Then he broke Green Lantern's fingers so the guy could not focus his mind to use his power ring. After that, he covered Zatanna's mouth so she could not speak backwards spells, showing how prep time beats godlike power. Another wild moment happens to Deathstroke the Terminator number 7, when he crosses paths with the Caped Crusader himself. They get into a massive, brutal fistfight that goes on for pages and completely destroys the local scenery. Slade stays a step ahead of Gotham's protector the entire time, because his brain just works much faster. He beats Batman into total unconsciousness, which is something very few people can actually pull off in a fair fight. His enhanced muscles and crazy tactical mind make him a physical nightmare for anyone without heavy superpowers. I'd say he's probably the top of the street level food chain, because he treats the world's greatest detective like an amateur boxer who forgot how to throw a proper left hook. Bane. Some kids grew up playing with toys, but this guy grew up serving a life sentence inside a nightmare. Born inside the terrible walls of Peña Duro prison and Santa Prisca, young Bane paid for his father's sins. He spent his childhood reading every single book in the prison library and fighting the scary inmates just to survive. The doctors eventually forced him into a crazy experiment with a super steroid called Venom that almost stopped his heart. He survived the test and gained giant muscles that gave him the power of a human freight train. But what I think makes him truly terrifying is his genius mind, his perfect memory, and his love for psychological mind games. He figured out that Bruce Wayne was Batman just by watching him walk around at a fancy party. His most legendary moment happens in Batman number 497 during the classic storyline that everyone remembers as Nightfall. Instead of fighting the Bat head on, he blows up Arkham Asylum and lets all the crazy villains run wild. This forces a tired Batman to spend weeks running around Gotham until he is completely exhausted and mentally broken. Bane then sneaks into Wayne Manor and ambushes the tired hero right inside his own living room. He beats the hero to a pulp before lifting him up and slamming him down hard over his knee. This move breaks Batman's spine, takes him out of commission, and lets Bane rule the city streets. If that's not crazy enough, you can also find him wrecking shop in Detective Comics number 701 against a completely different kind of Bat family member. He gets into a fierce duel with Nightwing, who is famous for being the most agile acrobat in comics. Even with all that Robin training and flashy flips, Nightwing gets completely overpowered by the giant luchador quite easily. Bane predicts every single acrobatic strike, catches the young hero mid-air, and systematically breaks him down piece by piece. He doesn't even need the element of surprise because his raw speed and power are just too much. Turns out that juicehead muscles combined with a chess champion brain is a pretty accurate recipe for total disaster. Tier 6 Planetary Threats. Villains in this category possess the raw power to single-handedly devastate entire planets, subjugate global populations, or challenge the combined might of Earth's greatest defenders. They operate on a global scale, wielding immense magical energy, advanced alien biology, or apocalyptic weaponry. Their mere presence requires the intervention of heavy hitters like Superman or Wonder Woman, as conventional militaries are completely useless against them. Black Adam. Imagine getting magical powers from a wizard, but instead of deciding to become a brutal ancient dictator instead of a hero. That is Teth Adam, the original champion of Kahndaq, who got his abilities way before Billy Batson was even born. He lacked a proper moral compass, so he overthrew the pharaoh and started ruling his country with total terror. The wizard got angry, stripped him of his title, and locked him away for thousands of years until now. He's back in the modern world acting like a scary ruler who balances between villain and anti-hero. When he yells the magic word, he gets the stamina, speed, strength, wisdom, power, and courage of ancient gods. He shrugs off bullets, flies as fast as lightning, and shoots magical energy out of his hands. His most destructive tantrum is recorded in World War III number 1 through 4 after some villains murdered his beloved family. He completely loses his mind, declares war on the globe, and turns into a walking natural disaster for everyone. He flies into the nation of Baila and literally wipes out millions of citizens in a few short hours. Then he fights the Justice League, Justice Society, Doom Patrol, and Teen Titans all at the same time. He treats their best attacks like annoying bug bites, showing that his anger makes him a planetary threat. He then shows off his ridiculous power again in JSA number 16 when he takes on the entire team by himself. Heavy hitters like Hawkman and Atom Smasher try to slow him down but get swatted away like flying pests. It takes the combined strength of multiple teams working together just to hold him still for a few seconds. He's the kind of guy who requires a literal army of super soldiers just to make him blink. He doesn't care about your feelings, your laws, or your fancy costumes when he's angry. General Zod. What happens when you give a ruthless military general all the exact same powers as the Man of Steel? You get Drew Zod, the former leader of the Kryptonian military who spent his life preparing for total galactic warfare. He tried to overthrow the planet's government, so they locked him inside the creepy mirror dimension called the Phantom Zone. That punishment actually saved his life because Krypton exploded into space dust right after he got sent away. Now he wanders the universe looking for a new place to conquer while sporting a very sharp goatee. Under our yellow sun, he gets super strength, planet-moving muscles, invulnerability, heat vision, and freeze breath. What's worse, he actually has real military training, unlike Superman who just brawls like a normal farm boy. He proves how dangerous leadership can be in Action Comics number 846 during a storyline called Last Sun. He escapes the zone with an entire army of superpowered criminals and launches a massive invasion against Earth. Zod uses his superior tactical knowledge to wreak our global defenses and beat Superman in a straight fist fight. He counters every single punch Kal-El throws, locks him away, and takes over the planet in record time. If that doesn't sound bad enough, look at Superman, War of the Supermen number 1 for some real terror. He leads the military forces of New Krypton into an all-out war against the people of Earth. He orders his soldiers to line up and fire their laser eyes together at the same time. This creates a giant wave of apocalyptic energy that completely melts the entire surface of the planet Mars. He did this just as a warning shot to show Earth what would happen if they resisted. When your warning shot destroys an entire planet, you're definitely not someone people want to mess with. Tier 5 Interstellar Conquerors. These entities transcend individual planets, treating entire solar systems and galaxies as their personal playthings. They command massive armadas, possess unfathomable technological resources, and seek to dominate, assimilate, or destroy life on a cosmic scale. Their intellects and armaments are so advanced that standard planetary defenses cannot even comprehend them, let alone repel them. Brainiac. Some people collect comic books or sneakers, but this cosmic cyborg prefers to collect actual living civilizations for fun. Vril Dox comes from the high-tech planet of Kolu and possesses a mind that makes supercomputers look like old calculators. He travels around the universe, shrinking down major cities, putting them in glass bottles, and destroying the leftover planets. He does this so he can be the only person in the universe who owns that specific knowledge. His brain operates on a 12th level intellect, which means he thinks light years ahead of any normal human scientist. His metal body has alien cybernetics, crazy telepathic powers, green force fields, and dangerous energy beams. He flies around in a giant spaceship shaped like a human skull that can literally control gravity itself. He shows off his weird hobby in this classic debut inside the pages of Action Comics number 242. He arrives at Earth and uses a special shrinking ray to steal the entire beautiful city of Paris. He also reveals that he already stole the Kryptonian city of Kandor before Superman's home planet exploded into pieces. This technology uses advanced cosmic physics that our human scientists cannot even begin to understand or replicate. But the real horror starts in Action Comics number 869, when the actual main body of Brainiac finally visits Earth. He shows up after sending weak robot clones for years and immediately starts throwing hands with our superheroes. He beats Superman to a bloody pulp with his bare hands, proving his cybernetic body is incredibly strong. Then he launches a missile right into our sun to trigger a giant supernova that would kill us. With this, he can erase the entire solar system just by pressing a button on his space dashboard. Talk about a guy who takes the concept of deleting your browser history to a dangerous extreme. Mongul. If you took a giant yellow alien tyrant and gave him a planet-sized Death Star, you would get this guy. Mongul is the absolute ruler of Warworld, which is a giant artificial planet packed with missiles and laser cannons. He's a massive golden beast whose raw physical strength can match Superman on a good day. His favorite hobby is forcing captured space aliens to fight in deadly gladiatorial games for his personal entertainment. He has super durability, thick skin, and a shiny red jewel in his chest that shoots lethal energy. He genuinely believes that the strongest people deserve to rule the universe, while the weak should just get crushed. He hates symbols of hope and makes it his life's mission to break every hero he meets. He pulled off what I think is one of the worst crimes in comic history inside Superman number 80. After Metropolis lost its hero, he teams up with Cyborg Superman and decides to destroy Coast City just to build a giant engine. He drops a bunch of massive bombs that instantly kill 7 million innocent people in a single second. This terrible tragedy completely breaks Green Lantern Hal Jordan and changes the DC universe forever. He literally turned a beautiful vacation city into a giant exhaust pipe for his new space vehicle. But that's nothing compared to what he does in Superman Annual number 11 during a story called For the Man Who Has Everything. He sneaks into the Fortress of Solitude on Superman's birthday and brings a very terrible alien plant gift. This plant is called the Black Mercy. It latches onto your chest to trap you into a dream. It feeds on your energy while forcing you to hallucinate your deepest, most beautiful heart desires. Wonder Woman tries to save her friend, but Mongul beats her up in a bloody, brutal brawl. He is definitely the worst party crasher in the universe, and he does not even bring good snacks. Tier 4, Dimensional Gods. Beings in this tier are not simply aliens or conquerors. They are literal gods and demonic entities that rule their own dimensions. They wield vast magic, cosmic or dark energies that can corrupt souls, warp reality on a multiversal scale, and threaten the very fabric of existence. They are often immortal, embodying abstract concepts of evil, tyranny, or sin. Trigon. What do you get when a dark cult matches a human lady with an ancient evil god? You get a giant red demon with 4 eyes, horns, and a serious lack of family values. Trigon was so evil that he slaughtered the entire cult that birthed him when he was a baby. By the time he was a small child, he had already conquered his entire home dimension with fire. He is the bad dad of Raven from the Teen Titans and rules a dark realm called Azarath. His magical powers are basically limitless, letting him shoot hellfire, control minds, and grow as big as planets. He loves opening dimensional portals so he can march his demon armies into our world and eat it. His big family reunion happens in the new Teen Titans Volume 2, Number 5, when he finally enters Earth. The moment his giant foot touches our soil, a wave of dark energy shoots across the planet. The entire world turns into a scary wasteland made of burning rocks, boiling oceans, and rivers of blood. He turns millions of regular people into solid stone statues and brainwashes the entire Justice League for fun. The world's greatest heroes become his personal zombie servants, showing how his magic dwarfs are best defenders. If you think that's bad, check out the new Teen Titans number 4 to see his actual cosmic resume. The Cosmic Observer, known as the Monitor, looks into Trigon's home dimension to see what he did there. Turns out that this demon has already eaten and destroyed millions of universes inside his own dark multiverse. He's way worse than Brainiac or Mongul because he treats entire realities like a giant bag of potato chips that he munches on after work. Good luck grounding your teenager when your father is a multi-eyed demon who eats reality for breakfast. Darkseid. Some villains want to rule the world, but this stone-faced alien wants to control your actual mind. Waxus is the ruler of Apocalypse, which is a hellish world covered in fire pits and giant factories. He is a new god who wants to find something called the anti-life equation to erase free will. If he finds it, every living creature in the universe will automatically obey his every single command. He has enough physical power to trade punches with Superman without breaking a sweat or losing his cool. His best weapon is the Omega Effect, which shoots red laser beams out of his glowing eyes. These lasers can bend around corners, track you down, and instantly disintegrate you into dust. His ultimate plan almost succeeds during the crazy events of the crossover series Final Crisis. His physical body dies during a cosmic war, so his giant soul starts falling backward through the multiverse. His falling weight is so heavy that it starts dragging all of creation down into a black hole. He broadcasts the anti-life equation through our internet and phones, brainwashing billions of humans in a second. His presence fractures space and time, showing how his existence is a pillar that holds reality together. He shows off his raw fighting skills in Justice League number 44 during a massive war against another god. He gets into a universe-shaking brawl with the Anti-Monitor that threatens to destroy the surrounding stars. Darkseid summons the Black Racer, who is the literal god of death for Speedster, and emerges him with Flash. He uses this new weapon to deliver a fatal, reality-shattering punch right into his giant enemy's face. He is the ultimate cosmic mob boss who uses death itself as a weapon against his rivals. That's why you really do not want to question his absolute authority or even owe this guy any money. Tier 3. Crisis Level Anomalies. These entities are existential threats to the structure of the multiverse itself. They are responsible for literal reboots of reality, possessing power that dwarfs that only of the gods. Their actions threaten to wipe out infinite timelines, alter the past, and erase universes from existence with a single thought. Anti-Monitor. Ever wonder who is responsible for all those confusing comic book reboots that change everyone's backstories? Meet Mobius, a giant cosmic entity born on the dead moon of Quard in the antimatter universe. He is the evil twin brother of the Monitor, and his life goal is completely ridiculous. He wants to destroy the entire positive matter multiverse and replace it with his own dark antimatter. He grows stronger by eating the energy of destroyed universes, shoots antimatter blasts, and can grow bigger than suns. He's not just a regular bad guy. He is a walking force of pure cosmic deletion. He He carries out his evil plan perfectly during the legendary comic event Crisis on Infinite Earths. He unleashes a giant wave of white antimatter that travels across space and melts everything it touches. He successfully destroys infinite multiverses and kills trillions of living things before our heroes can even react. He shrinks the infinite multiverse down into just one single fragile universe because he hates sharing space. This makes him the most successful mass murderer in fiction, which is a pretty wild title to hold. The crazy finale happens in Crisis on Infinite Earths number 10 when he decides to break time itself. He travels back to the literal dawn of time so he can stop our universe from being born. There, he gets into a giant energy fight with the Spectre, who is the literal ghost of God's anger. Their clash is so violent that it shatters the fabric of space, resulting in a total reality reboot. He is so powerful that he forces the cosmic creators to hit the reset button on existence. If you see a wave of white light coming towards your house, you should probably say goodbye. Superboy-Prime. What happens when you take a whiny teenager from the real world to give him Silver Age Superman powers? You get Clark Kent from Earth Prime, a universe where superheroes only existed inside regular comic books. He got stuck in a cozy paradise dimension after his homeworld blew up during the original Crisis. He spent years watching our modern heroes get dark and gritty, which completely ruined his fragile mental state. He convinced himself that he is the only real hero left and everyone else is just a fake. He has insane pre-crisis powers, meaning he moves planets easily and ignores magic or kryptonite from other worlds. His worst trait is his toddler rage, which causes him to throw apocalyptic tantrums when he gets upset. He breaks the actual comic book universe in Infinite Crisis number 1 because he gets tired of his room. He gets so frustrated with his paradise prison, he starts punching the literal glass walls of reality. His punches are so heavy that they send shockwaves through time, changing characters' histories and causing random retcons. This temper tantrum literally brought back Jason Todd to life and changed Superman's entire origin story from scratch. He literally altered history just by banging his fists against the wall like an angry child. But he completely loses his mind at Infinite Crisis number 7 and goes on a massive killing spree. He fights a team of Green Lanterns, Flashes, and multiple versions of Superman all by himself. He beats the older Earth 2 Superman to death with his bare hands in a very bloody scene. Then he rips apart the Anti-Monitor's armor to build himself a new suit for extra solar power. It takes the entire Green Lantern Corps working together just to knock him inside a Red Sun prison. So what do we learn from this? Never underestimate the destructive power of a toxic fanboy who has the power to move actual planets. Tier 2, Outerversal creators. These beings reside outside the boundaries of the multiverse, operating within the Overvoid or the Omniverse. They are responsible for crafting the structural blueprints of reality itself or feeding on the narrative constructs of comic books. They view the entire multiverse as a tiny speck and possess powers that rewrite the rules of existence on an architectural level. Perpetua. Think your mom is tough when she makes you clean your room on a Saturday morning? Try dealing with the cosmic mother who literally built the entire DC multiverse from scratch using raw energy. Perpetua is a super celestial who belongs to a race of giant gods that build realities for fun. She went rogue, gave her universe weapons, and tried to fight her boss using her own creations. She uses something called crisis energy, which lets her build dimensions, throw universes, and change physics. She looks at powerful guys like Darkseid and the Anti-Monitor like they are plastic toys. She shows off her home renovation skills in Justice League Volume 4, number 32, after waking up from a nap. She walks through space, grabs entire universes out of the sky, and crushes them in her hands. She turns those broken realities into fuel to make herself stronger for her upcoming cosmic war. She easily beats up her 3 cosmic sons at the same time, showing they are just bugs to her. But it gets worse because she takes over everything in Dark Knight's Death Metal number 1 and turns Earth into a metal album cover. She beats the Justice League, reshapes our world into scary territories, and sits on the throne of reality. She hires the creepy Batman who laughs to be her assistant and run things while she rests. She literally rewrote the narrative foundation of existence, turning a world of heroes into a giant scary church. I guess that's what happens when you do not thank your creator for making the multiverse. Mandrakk. Imagine a vampire so hungry that he skips drinking blood and decides to drink the actual story instead. Dax Novu was a cosmic probe sent to the Overvoid to check out the weird flaw called the multiverse. He spent too much time looking at her comic books, went crazy, and turned into Mandrakk the Dark Monitor. He feeds on the bleed, which is the glowing liquid that keeps different universes from bumping into each other. He has infinite size, stands outside of time, and can eat concepts, logic, and entire superhero plots. He is a metafictional nightmare who wants to turn off the lights on the comic page itself. He shows off his giant teeth in Superman Beyond #2 when he tries to eat everything. He towers over the entire tapestry of creation like a giant monster ready to swallow a small snack. He fights the Thought Robot, which is a giant metal Superman machine built to adapt to threats. They throw punches that hit with the force of exploding universes outside the boundaries of normal reality. He uses the blood of 52 universes to fuel his laser beams and break the comic panels. He tries to use his weird story powers to literally write Superman out of the comic book. He drains the conceptual energy of hope, trying to make everyone forget that superheroes are supposed to win. It takes the Thought Robot pushing him off the literal edge of the page to finally defeat him. He fell into the infinite black void where unwritten stories go when authors delete their files. That is definitely one way to handle a critic who takes book reviews way too seriously. Tier 1, Primordial Force. This absolute zenith of hierarchy is reserved for the fundamental, abstract forces that existed before the concept of creation itself. They are not characters with motivations or bodies, but infinite expanses of raw, boundless power. They represent the ultimate void, the endless shadow that surrounds the light of the multiverse, possessing omnipotence that rivals the creator of all things. The Great Darkness. Before God said the famous words about light, there was just a giant empty room with no lights. That empty room is the Great Darkness, the ultimate primordial shadow that existed before the concept of creation. The presence pushed it back to make room for the multiverse, but you cannot truly destroy nothingness. It does not have a regular body or face, instead existing as a giant sentient void. Its power is genuinely infinite, because it does not have to follow rules like space, time, or magic. It treats the strongest cosmic villains in history like little hand puppets that it controls with strings. You could find its first spooky appearance in Swamp Thing #50 during a classic horror comic storyline. A bunch of creepy cultists wake it up because they want to destroy heaven and cause trouble. The darkness wakes up and casually slaps away the Spectre, Dr. Fate, Trigon, and Deadman like flies. Then it reaches its giant shadow hand right into heaven to have a chat with God himself. They shake hands and agree that light and dark need to exist together to keep things balanced. When you can shake hands with God on equal terms, you are definitely the ultimate heavyweight champ. It then reveals its giant master plan in Justice League Incarnate #4 through some crazy twists. Turns out, this giant shadow was the secret boss behind every single major comic book crisis. It reached into the brains of Darkseid, Doomsday, Empty Hand, and Ares to make them do bad things. It changed these heavy hitters to its will, showing they're just small pawns in its game. It is the ultimate blanket that will eventually cover everything when the cosmic story finally ends. That's it for this one. If you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and ring the bell so you never miss a drop. Craving more stories from comics, movies, and beyond? Check out this video right here. Cheers, and see you in the next one.